Hey, good morning to you. A few minutes behind, yeah, I know, more so than usual. I always get sidetracked a lot of times in the mornings. David here with you, where we talk about balancing the triad. You work on your body, mind, spirit, and improve your health, wellness, and fitness. And that is specifically the topic today. A lot of times we go on different areas that bring into that, but kind of continue from a topic from yesterday. I talked about what does aging mean to you? So let's kind of go off and go off. I don't know how that works there. Add to that, or kind of going a little deeper. And this is something I talked about this yesterday, and I've talked about this many times before. Matter of fact, I've talked about it a lot over the past decade or so, even longer than that. When I was in college, I did some research papers on exercise and aging. I was fascinated by it, and I honestly don't know if I read this phrase somewhere in that type of research, or if it was later years, if I figured it out myself, but it's that we're not always guaranteed to add years to our life, but we can add life to our years. So today's topic is add life to your years. So when we work on our body, mind, and spirit, those three are completely integrated within each other. That's why the symbol I have for balancing the triad is a three-way yin-yang symbol, because they all integrate, they all carry it back over. But when we work on those three elements integrated together, they thus improve your health, wellness, and fitness. And health, wellness, and fitness, we're talking about excuse me, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, or your spiritual, physical, and mental wellness, or your fitness, however you want to put that, or might be best to put all three, because they all, to me, I guess they can say slightly different elements. But regardless, when you work on those, now it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to add years to your life. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to live longer, though there's a good possibility. However, most likely you can add life to your years. So what I'm meaning by that is, what would it be is if you have zest, vitality, energy, functionality, resilience, all of this as you get into those higher decades of life. What would you be doing? How would you be spending your time? That's what I want you to kind of think about. Because I'm sure you can look at people that are older, what we talked about yesterday, whatever older is, and you can see a lot of them, they start to slow down as they age. They might spend most of their time sitting around doing nothing. They get old, they get frail, they get fragile. But a lot of that stuff that we blame on the aging process, and you've heard me say this before, is not part of the aging process. It's actually due to neglect and abuse of the body and the mind. We're going to add spirit in here as well. And it goes back to the saying, which we've mentioned many times, we've heard it so cliche, it's the same thing with the airplane. When you get on there, put your mask on, oxygen mask on first before you help other people. Same thing holds in life. Think about the last time, if you're a parent or caregiver or anything like that there, think about the last time you got sick. How well were you able to take care of your family or your friends or coworkers or whatever it was? Most likely you weren't able to do it to your highest capacity because you were compromised. That's why we always want to emphasize making sure you take care of yourself first, therefore you can take care of others. So take care of yourself with this. Because the more you can do, now it's never too late to do something. You can always do at least whatever you're able to do. You start from where you're at. But the sooner you start, the more benefits you're going to get, the more bang for your buck you'll get out of it. Imagine right now, if you start doing walking, maybe do some of the things like backwards walking, which we found out from Ben Patrick, Knees Over Toes guy. That's one from the research studies. It's one of the biggest things for the elderly. Getting strength, because if you do resistance training, it helps to increase bone density, which helps to, it's one of the things that can help you against osteoporosis as you get later in life. But having that strength, that muscle mass, which means you're going to have the muscle, you're going to have the strength, you can still do more things. One of the big things for elderly, this is good going back to my research studies, is having a hard time getting out of a chair. They almost needed the arms sometimes. I'm sure you've probably seen this, where they go through and they got to struggle to get up. But from those research studies, 6 to 8 weeks of intense training, they got up without the arms. They were able just to stand up. Think about that there for take a moment. If you're sitting in a chair without arms, are you able to sit there and stand up without using your arms? Now imagine not being able to do that. Now if you can't do that with a chair, you might have a hard time getting up and off the toilet. It can get to the point where you might have a difficult time getting dressed. Or even bathing. So consider this. If you had the cognitive ability you have right now, If you have your mental capacity, you know what's going on, you're taking place around you, but yet you couldn't do those things. Now, yes, there are people that go through injuries where they're paralyzed, and yes, they do need help, absolutely. Let's just kind of focus on, I guess, more functional, if you will. I'm not sure quite how to put that. But imagine, again, let's go back to that. So imagine having your full mind capacity right now, but you struggle to get out of a chair. And this is without any injuries. You've had no injuries. You're not paralyzed, anything like that. Imagine what your life would be like. Imagine how would you feel. And one of the ways to possibly prevent that is by taking care of yourself. You work on your body, your mind, spirit. Work on exercise. Work on strengthening yourself out. Because when you have at least functional strength, you can be able to get up and out of a chair. One of the biggest things with exercising was reaction time. One of the biggest injuries for elderly is falls. And thus, injuries from that, and you can do hip replacement. A lot of times hip replacement, sometimes those people don't make it out of hospital because it's such a debilitating recovery time. But by doing the restraint training, by doing the exercise, they have increased reaction time, which means that they start to stumble, they can catch themselves faster before it happens. I remember a friend that was a personal trainer, a woman, I don't know if she was 70s, I don't remember what age, let's just say 70s. He'd been training with her, and she was watching her grandkid. Well, a glass fell off the counter and scratched and got on the floor, broke all over the floor. Well, she was able to reach down and grab her grandkid up with one arm, and then was able to clean up, but she didn't even realize she did that. She had the strength. Of course, reaction dangerous, we're going to go through, but still she had the strength to do that and hold her. That can be something very significant. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. What I talk about here is find out what is it you do. You don't necessarily find this protocol over here, this routine that you don't like. Because if something you don't like, you're going to fight against it. You're not going to get a whole lot of benefit out of it. Let's find what works for you. What fits into your life. What are things you want to do? And if you're going to have more fun doing it, you're going to continue to do it. You're going to get the benefits from it. You're going to like it. You're going to keep going. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. Start working on that. Start do some testing out. Figure out what are things you want. How can you fit in your life? What time availabilities do you have? And start going from there, little bits at a time, little baby steps. You know I'm big about baby steps. What are the small steps you can take right now to start working towards that goal, to get yourself healthier on all levels? Because that way there, when you get in those higher decades of life, you're going to still be functional. You're going to still keep yourself going. You're going to still be working and having fun and living life to the fullest. Going out there, going on hikes, going on bicycle rides, spending time with your friends, your family, your kids, your grandkids, maybe your great-grandkids, maybe your great-great-grandkids. You can still go out there and do things with them because you've taken care of yourself and you've added life to your years and possibly years to your life. So go out there and figure that out. Do what you can. Start exercising. If you want some help on any of that, at least to get you started in thinking on the process. In the description is a link to my Facebook group. In there is a guide section, and I got different trainings in there, but one of them is Health and Wellness Your Way. There's about 12 steps in there to kind of get you to at least to start thinking about the process. What can you start doing now? Start fitting things into your life. So do that for right now. Let me know your thoughts on that. So in the comments there, let me know your thoughts. How have you added life to your years? How have you increased your functionality, energy, your zest, your resilience? How have you done any of that? All right. Take care. Have yourself a wonderful day. We'll catch you tomorrow, and balancing to you. Bye-bye.